When I first got started as an insurance broker, I had no idea what I needed to do on a daily basis to actually generate leads and close clients in my business. However, over the last 10 years, I've been able to consistently generate six figures and more in my insurance practice each and every single year. And in today's video, I'm gonna break down exactly what I wish that I knew 10 years ago when I started in the insurance industry, what you need to do on a day-by-day basis to actually be able to generate six figures in your insurance business each and every single year. I wanted to share a thought with you guys before I actually get into the video here. Before I hit record and before I put the camera up and I got everything ready to record this video, I had a thought and I was just remembering back to myself. I got started in the insurance industry back in 2014, and I didn't have any guidance or real mentor or any system or process to follow when I got started in the insurance industry. I did have a lot of mentors along the way that kind of pointed me in the right direction, but as far as marketing came to, pardon me, there was no real system that was ever shown to me or anything like, hey, if you follow this, this is exactly what you need to do. And I was always craving that in my early years. I was always wishing, that I would just have someone that said, you just need to do exactly these things and I promise you'll be able to succeed. I never had that. So I'm very excited to share this video with you guys because I can tell you exactly what you need to do on a month-to-month and a day-to-day basis. If you guys do just follow these principles, it's worked for me. I've generated hundreds of thousands of dollars of business in my insurance brokerage, and you guys can do the exact same. So let's get right into it. The first thing that I want to go through, there's a few slides that I want to go through before we actually get into the day-to-day things and activities that you need to do. I just want to lay the groundwork here a little bit. I want to talk about the basics of business. And if you're already familiar with all of that and you say, Philip, get me to the good stuff, you can clip ahead. I'm going to put timestamps here in the entire video. However, I wanted to go over the basics of business because this is something that it took me years to figure out and realize and lots of books, and we can just get into it here. So number one, the basics of business. This is the same whether you're an insurance broker, a financial advisor, a planner, you sell ice cream, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. This is the same across the board for all different businesses. Is number one, you have raw attention. So this is just how do I get people aware of who I am and what we offer? And there's many different ways to do that. And I'm obviously going to focus on digital marketing and social media, but you could go to the top of a building and you could yell from the top of the building, I sell ice cream. Please come buy ice cream to me. I live in Calgary, Alberta, if you know where that is. But we had a guy, must have been 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I don't even know what it was. But he actually, during the Stampede, which is an annual event that we have, he was in a chair and what they did is they taped or they whatever it is, they tied on thousands of balloons. He went into the sky to promote, I think he had like a cleaning company or something like that. Like they washed windows or something like that. But he actually went over like the highway and like he was over the city, and it was like a major event because obviously he could, be hit by a plane and like cause a huge accident. And so like the FAA and everything came in and he got into a lot of trouble. But the whole thing, he had like, I don't know what it was, like 1,000 so many interviews, all these news stations wanted to get a hold of him. And it was all to promote his company. But the point of it, that is raw attention. And so there's many different forms of raw attention. That's social media. Here, I'm just going to draw some things here for you. So this is a face here. Hang on. Those are eyeballs, okay? So this is raw attention. This could be many different things. So we'll go social media. Okay, so this is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Snapchat, whatever, all those different platforms you could have it. This could be, this could be events. This could be door knocking, cold call, seminars. The list is endless. I'm not obviously going to go through all of them, but that is the first step of business. You need to figure out what your raw attention is. You need to get people aware of who you are and what you offer. That's step number one. Step number two is your funnel. This is obviously specific to digital marketing, which is what I focus on and what you focus on. Is now we want to bring people to some type of offer, some type of landing page. So we're going to have that up here, landing page. If you offer a physical service, you know, something like ice cream or something like that, you don't need a funnel. People just come into your store and buy ice cream. But for people like us, financial planners, investment professionals, insurance brokers, financial advisors, etc., we're doing business online. We need a funnel. So this could be landing page. This could be lead magnets. This is at top of the funnel. Okay, let me just write here a couple things. So this is tofu. This is top of the funnel. This is mofu, middle of the funnel, pardon me. And this is bofu, bottom of the funnel. So the idea is, you know, just generally speaking, that we want to put 100 people in, and then down here, let's say, you know, 30 people get to here, and then down here, let's just say, you know, 5 to 10 people get down here. This is a very generalization here, but essentially at the top, you're going to have people go to a landing page where you offer something of value, which will be, let's say, a lead magnet, you know, download this guide to get a checklist, retirement planning checklist, insurance checklist, etc. You're going to get their email in exchange for that lead magnet. And then you might have them on an email drip campaign. And then you might also retarget them. And then you could also, you know, send them an SMS. And you want to clearly know what this looks like. So you want to guide them from landing page to a lead magnet, to an email drip, to retargeting. And then eventually we want to book calls or fill out applications. That is the end goal. So in essence, we have raw attention that we are driving to a landing page. And after that, we now have step 3, our product or service. So let's see if I can draw a stick man. There's a smile. Okay, not bad. That's pretty good, okay? This is you. This is where you come into the equation. The product or service is you. So whatever that is, whether you're a financial advisor, you're an insurance broker, you're a financial planner, retirement, whatever it is, you are the product or service. They're deciding whether they know, like, or trust you. So once you do all of the raw attention, you send them to a landing page, they download a bunch of things, a guide, etc. They book a call. Now you need to get on that call and you need to close them, which leads me to step number 4, which is money. Okay. Now, if you are not making money, then one of these is broken. Either A, you don't have enough raw attention. B, there's something wrong with your funnel. C, there's something wrong with you, not necessarily you, but maybe the language you're using, the sales you're using, you know, whatever you're saying on the phone, something's not working from a trust point of view and they don't want to move forward with you. But one of those is broken. So it's very easy to figure that out. If no one's booking calls with you and you have no raw attention, the chances are probably 99% of the time, you just need more raw attention. You need more people to know who you are. If you do get a lot of attention, but no one is actually booking a call with you, something's wrong with your funnel, with your landing page, with your lead magnet, with your drip campaigns. Something's breaking down there, and I'm not going to get into that in this video. I've made other videos on it. And of course, if you're getting lots and lots of appointments, but you're not selling any of them, something is wrong with your sales process and how you're presenting yourself. So that is the basics of business. We can move on from this point. Let's talk about a financial advisor now in 2026, because here's the thing, the game has changed. It's not the 1960s anymore, the 1970s, where you could just go out and you could just yell, you know, hey, I sell insurance, and you could just go door to door and sell it, and it's super easy. It doesn't work that way anymore. It's 2026. The competition, not just for insurance brokers or financial professionals, but any industry that has a low barrier to entry, a low cost barrier to entry, such as, you know, mortgage brokers, realtors, financial advisors, insurance brokers, etc. It's relatively easy to get into. There's not that much upfront capital. There's many people in there. You need to set yourself apart, and you need to, it's very highly competitive. You need to brand yourself and you need to stand out from the competition. Now, one of the easiest ways that you can set yourself apart from the competition is by identifying a niche. And I know you hear this time and time again. Everyone says, you have to find a niche, you have to find a niche, you have to find a niche. What I see more often than not is advisors picking a product niche. So they'll say, you know, I'm the insurance broker for dentists, for example. You know, I'm the insurance broker for doctors, something like that. And it's like, well, why though? But just because doctors make a lot of money? Here's what I would recommend. I'm not saying that you can't go that route, but here's what I would recommend. I would recommend finding a niche that resonates with you. So if you can find something such as maybe a previous occupation, maybe an interest, maybe faith, could even be family, hobby here. Something that resonates with you that you can genuinely connect with, that you actually can understand the pain points of those individuals. So I just give you an example here. I started to market myself as the mountain sports life insurance guy. So here's the thing. For the longest time, or not for the longest time, I guess, but since probably 2017, I've been engaged in rock climbing, ice climbing, backcountry skiing, alpine climbing, mountain climbing, etc. And for a while, I tried to stay away from branding myself as that and servicing that clientele. However, over time, I started to open myself up and merge my professional life and my personal life and started to brand myself as, hey, you know, I am now the insurance broker for mountain sports enthusiasts. And now here's the thing, is because I do this on a day-to-day basis, I go climbing on the weekends and I go climbing, you know, all over the place. Now it's so easy for me to create content and position myself as the individual in that space. And I can connect with them so much deeper because I know their pain points, because I'm also a climber. So when I say, hey, I know how hard it is for you to get insurance as a climber, I know because I tried to get insurance as a climber. So when you're trying to identify a niche for your business, try and do something that you're passionate about. It's going to be that much easier for you to build a brand around that when it's something that actually resonates with you. You know, if you're really into cooking, for example, you know, you love cooking, you love making meals, you know, bolognese, creme brulee, all these different things, all these ingredients, you could brand yourself as like, hey, you know, I'm the financial chef. Here's the recipe for retirement. You know, you could build out all these cute things, and then you could build out all these different channels of you behind the scenes, cooking dinner, doing financial plans, you know, writing insurance policies, protecting things. You can build an entire brand around it, and you're still going to get clients that aren't super into cooking, but now it just allows you to separate yourself from everyone else, as well as build content with something that actually resonates with you. And then everyone that does resonate with that is going to be that much easier to get as a client. So number one, you need to identify some type of niche. Number two, you need to now build a brand around that niche. And I'm not going to get into it in this video. I've made other videos on my channel about building a personal brand, but a couple things that you absolutely need to do with a personal brand is number one, you are the personal brand. Don't start some random company with some random name that has nothing to do with you. A lot of people do this and I don't agree with it. Come up with an actual, you as the name. So let's just say, John Smith. And then also, you need to use your personal photos. At the end of the day, people are doing business with you. They're not doing it with a company. So remember, I'll just put headshots here just so you know, get some good headshots. This is the first thing that you need to do. Number two, some color schemes. So pick some different colors that resonate with you. That again, just makes it easier to identify you in a sea of thousands and thousands and thousands of other advisors. And then number three is messaging, and this is who you serve and how you serve them. And this is going to go back to this niche. Once you identify your niche, you can clearly identify who you serve and how you serve them. Once you've built out your personal brand, you have your niche, you have your color schemes, everything is consistent across the board, you have everything set up. Now we need to identify our traffic sources. So if we go back up here, there's many different ways that you can generate traffic. Again, I mean, you could tie some balloons to a chair and fly over the city for all I care. I'm not recommending that. You could door knock, you could cold call, you could go to seminars, you could go to networking events, you could do all these different things. However, I would recommend in today's day and age, social media. I built my business 100% online using digital marketing and social media. The upsides to using social media is that it's evergreen and that it's leveraged. So here's the thing, all those other things that I just said, door knocking, cold calling, seminars, all those other things, I've done all those other things in the past and I'm not saying that they don't work. However, once you stop working, no business comes in. So I did seminars from 2016 to 2020 and I went to Calgary, Vancouver, Edmonton, Toronto. We did hundreds of seminars for thousands of different people. And when I didn't do a seminar, no business came in. As soon as I stopped doing a seminar, nothing came in. Versus now that I'm on social media, when COVID happened, all of that was shut down. And thankfully I was able to take a step back and say, okay, what do I want to actually do? And then I went all in on YouTube. The benefit of YouTube is you make a video one time and it continues to generate views each and every single month. I made videos 4 or 5 years ago that continue to bring in views and leads every single month now in 2026, and I'm not making them. So it's like, that is a way that you can now leverage your time and build a consistent business. It'll take longer to set up than door knocking. I mean, door knocking, you could go out tonight and you might get a client right away, but as soon as you're done, that's it. Versus YouTube, social media, these other platforms, it'll take a while to ramp up, but then once it's ramped up, you'll get consistent leads each and every month. So traffic sources, for me, I would recommend number one, you guessed it, YouTube. YouTube is the number 2 search platform in the world, second only to Google, which is number 1, and Google owns YouTube. So these are the number 1 places that people are searching for answers to their questions, and people are actively looking for answers for life insurance, disability insurance, critical illness, financial planning, retirement planning, investments, etc. 2 other places that are good for traffic sources, I would say Meta, which is IG, which is Instagram and Facebook. And then the last one, if you're in that business owner market, of course, is LinkedIn. There we go. Let's talk about YouTube, because I would recommend this is your primary traffic source to get clients. In today's day and age, in 2026, especially with ChatGPT and AI and the ability to write books and blog posts and all of these other written forms of communication, it is so easy to do. It is now an incredibly saturated content medium. And now it's not a very good way for you to set yourself apart from all the other competition. However, video content marketing, in my opinion, is the best way, especially moving forward, for you to build that know, like, and trust factor with your clients. Similar to what we're doing right now, you're watching this video, you're looking at me, you're determining whether you like me or not, and hopefully I'm gaining your trust by being in front of the camera. That is the same way that you can build trust with your clients, is by video. But reading a blog post or seeing a post on LinkedIn or Facebook or seeing a photo on Instagram doesn't achieve the same thing. If you see a post on Instagram with a photo that says, I believe term life insurance is a good idea, that's not really building trust with your clients. They might scroll past and say, cool, okay, I'll check that out. But they're not gonna be like, that's absolutely the guy that I wanna work with. And you're not setting yourself out from the competition. Whereas video content marketing, very few advisors are doing video content marketing. I don't know the percentages, but the competition is incredibly low. There is still huge opportunity for you guys to get onto these different platforms. Let's talk about what this actually looks like and how you can actually build out your YouTube channel. And I'm not gonna get into all of it, but I'm just gonna talk about what you need to do on a monthly and a daily basis. So this is what I would recommend for long form videos each and every single month. This is the framework for how you can now build that awareness that generates traffic to your product you're offering or your landing page. So long form videos, I would recommend 8 per month. This is all gonna be SEO based content, which means what are people actually searching for? For example, term life insurance explained in 2026, or permanent life insurance explained, or, how does life insurance work? Life insurance basics 101. How much life insurance do I need? How can I buy life insurance? How long should my life insurance coverage be? All of those are what's known as SEO based content. I would make 8 of those per month. Now, people ask me, how long is a long form video? A long form video is as long as it needs to be and not a second longer. So it doesn't matter. Could be 10 minutes, could be 15, could be 20, could be 30, could be 50, doesn't matter. Only make it for as long as it needs to be and not a second longer. The format for making long form videos is Halo. Every long form video should have this format. So Halo stands for hook, action, lesson, outcome. Wow, I messed that up. That was bad. That's okay. Hook, action, lesson, outcome. This is the format for every video. When you start the video, you want to hook them in the first 15 to 30 seconds. Don't start it like, hey, what's up guys? How are you? Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about this. You can say, most people who are buying term life insurance do it completely wrong and they buy exactly the wrong product that they need. And in today's video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how term life insurance works. And by the end of it, you'll know exactly which product is right for you and which one you should avoid completely. That is an example of a hook. You want to create some curiosity and get them incentivized to watch until the end. Action is now telling them about how they can get in touch with you and work with you, exactly like how I did in this video. What's up guys? My name is Philip Setter. Here's what I offer. Here's how you get in touch with me. You want to put this at the beginning of the video because most people are only watching the video 25 to 45%. So you want to put that in the beginning. Lesson, this is where you're breaking down the video similar to what I'm doing today. And then outcome, you want to direct them to the next logical step. So is that watching another video, booking a call with you, downloading a guide? You want to keep them in your ecosystem. So this is long form content. Short form content, you should aim for 5 to 10 shorts per month. Now, long form content, you're just going to put on YouTube, and you can repurpose this in the form of a post. However, short form content you can put on YouTube, Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. You can put that on TikTok. You can put that on LinkedIn. So you can repurpose this video or these 5 to 10 videos that you make in every month for multiple different platforms, which is going to help with that awareness. And the framework that you want to use for that is CAP, C-A-P, which is capture attention, add value, and prompt action. Now, shorts are totally different than long form. You have very little time to capture their attention. With a long form video, it's 5 to 10 seconds, or maybe 10 to even 30 seconds. With short form video, it is like 1 to 2 seconds. I mean, you have a phone, you're scrolling, you've probably used it before where you're swiping and it's just yes, no, 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 yes. You have very little time to capture their attention. You're not going to do anything with an action at the beginning. You want to add value and you want to prompt action. So you can say, we capture attention, something about term life insurance, add value, explaining the difference, and then say, if you want the full breakdown, comment guide below to get my full breakdown on term versus permanent, something like that. This should be the framework for how you're starting to build out that awareness where you're actually generating leads in your business. Let's actually create a system now that you can duplicate each and every single month. So now that we know that we're going to be creating video content each and every single month, if we actually break it down on a monthly basis, and we know, okay, we have 8 videos that we need to record, we have 5 to 10 shorts, that's what we need to do on a monthly basis in order to generate traffic to our website, get leads, get them to download a guide, go through our funnel and book a call with us, and then finally get on a sales call and sell some insurance or financial planning or investments, whatever it is. That's what we need to do. We need to break this down into different actionable steps, and then we need to plan them for when we're actually going to be doing it. So this is quite easy. We have, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 things that we need to plot down. It does not matter where you put them. I'll show you my schedule and I'll show you exactly what I do. It doesn't matter where you put them, but I like to batch all of my content and do it throughout the month. I don't like to, have one day where I record and the next day you edit and then the next day you schedule it and then you have to go back and record and then back to edit. I don't like to do that. I like to do everything at once and then everything at once and then everything at once. So for example, ideation is now coming up with all of the scripts, exactly how you're going to do it. So all the titles, all the scripts, all your video ideas, getting everything together, organizing it, which, by the way, I have a full Trello board where I organize all of the videos and I have a template, that you can have access to. Just comment Trello board below and I will send it to you. And it's a full breakdown of exactly how I manage my video content production. However, ideation is the first one, so coming up with all the ideas. Scripting is the second one, so now that's actually going bullet point, figuring out every single thing that you need to do in there. So recording, that's getting in front of the camera, exactly like I'm doing today. You need to edit all your videos, you need to schedule them all, and then you need to analyze what works and what doesn't. So typically what I will be doing is around the 25th right here. So let's just say we'll do the 24th. So around here, so this to the 28th, this is ideas and scripting. I'm coming up with all of my ideas. I'm figuring everything out. I'm scripting everything, figuring out all my hooks, all my titles, all my bullet points, everything that I'm doing. And then typically that's done by the 28th. And then from the 28th until the 3rd, somewhere in here, this is where I am now filming, I am recording. Now, typically I'm batching everything a month in advance. So this month technically would already be scheduled. So I'm doing it for the next month now. So I've scripted now everything. I got all my ideas. I'm done the recordings. So at this point now I'm sending it to my editor. So my editor usually, let's say here, if you're doing the editing yourself, which typically you'd be doing here in the first little while, then you'd be editing it. But typically I give them about a week to 10 days. So that's about 2 right here. This is editing. And then I'm scheduling, let's say from here to here, scheduling, getting everything prepped So that includes scheduling on YouTube, as well as Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc., as well as all those posts. And then now you're done. So now you have a couple days here, and this is where you can analyze what worked from the previous month and what didn't. And then once you analyze everything, look at all the videos, then you're back to scripting. And this is a monthly thing. You do this each and every single month on an ongoing basis, and I promise you, you will build a business that will explode with leads. That is on a month-to-month basis, okay? Great, we do this every single month. We have everything here. We know what we need to do. The last thing here is now our daily planning, okay? So here's the thing. This is one thing that I didn't understand when I first got started as an insurance broker. And I just said, hey, I wish that I could just do my job. I wish that I could just sit down with clients and I could talk about insurance and sell insurance. Like, that's the fun part of your job, okay? Actually sitting down with clients and selling a policy and doing financial planning, retirement planning, whatever it is, that is like the 10 to 20% of your job. Everything else is these 3 activities. This is what actually drives business. And I wish I would have learned that earlier on in my career, because I was trying to, hey, how do I just sit down with clients? How do I just write plans? Like, why can't I just, can I buy leads? Can I, go to a lead service? Like, I wish I could just sit down. That's not your business. This is your business: prospect and follow-up and content. And I promise, if you focus on these 3 activities each and every single day, you will succeed as an insurance broker. So doing your job, that's the fun part. Sitting down with a client, that's the fun part. And of course, we want to book that off in our calendar, but the actual activities that generate business is prospecting, follow-up, and content. Let's actually break this down on a day-to-day basis. And here's the thing. You can schedule this however you want. It doesn't matter. So for example, for myself, I start work at 4 a.m., okay? You can start, it doesn't matter. You can start at 6 a.m., you can start at 8 a.m., you can start at 10 a.m. I usually start work very early, and then I usually finish around 4 o'clock. So it's 3:10, 3:12 right now. This is one of the last things I'm gonna do for the day, and then I'm done. If you start at 7 o'clock, fine. You can start at 7 o'clock and work till 5 or work till 7. I like to get up very early and then finish work relatively early. My brother, for example, he's in business as well. He gets up later, but he works till like 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. So you can choose any process you work, whatever works for you. It does not matter. All you need to put into your calendar each and every single day is these 3 activities. This is what you need to do in order to generate business. So wherever it goes in here, you slot these off each and every single week. So every single day, set aside time, 2 hours, for recording content, building content, or learning that will help you generate more content. So whatever that looks like. So for YouTube, for example, if you're creating videos on term life insurance versus whole life, or UL, or how taxes work within a life insurance policy or corporations, or whatever it is, if you've already finished your content for that month, and you have some downtime, then learn about content, learn about your craft, learn about insurance, learn about your products, etc. Become a better educator. So then the next month when you're doing the content, you'll know your products better, you'll be able to present them better, and you'll be more trustworthy and build that authority a lot better. But every single day, you should book 2 hours for content. So let's just say 8 a.m. to 10. After that, you want to book 1 hour for follow-up. Every day, you want to be going through your list, going through old contacts, going through emails, going through text messages, who's replying, who's not, and you want to follow up with everyone that's on your list, whether they were interested before, they talked about being interested, they said their mom might be interested, their dad, their sister, their brother, their cousin, doesn't matter. You want to devote an hour to following up with all of your leads across all of the different sources. And the last one is prospecting. This is where you're actively going out and you're, whatever it is, across all the different platforms, you're now engaging with people. So if that's on Instagram, if you're building content on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or any of these other sources, now you're going out and you're commenting on these posts, you're seeing who commented on your post, you're replying to them, you're messaging them, you're reaching out in a DM, you're talking to them, you're asking things, you're having real conversations with them, talking about, okay, give me a timeline for your finances. What are you looking for? How can I help? Do you have any other questions? Can I direct you somewhere? Are you looking for this? Are you looking for that? This is where, and also comment on other people's posts, whether it's on LinkedIn or Instagram or anywhere else. You want to start actively trying to build the relationship with people and build up your prospect list. So those are the 3 activities that you need to do each and every single day. And if you look here, that's 5 hours. And realistically, those activities don't necessarily take you 5 hours. But realistically, how long does it take you to follow up with all your leads? Especially if you're on top of it each and every single day, it might take you 15 minutes. Okay. Content, yeah, that might take you 2 to 3 hours, might take you a little bit longer, might take you less if you're done for the month. Prospecting, that might take you, maybe it'll take you an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Realistically, you're spending 3 to 5 hours on generating business each and every single day. And that leaves you tons of time for phone calls, meeting with clients, going to other networking events if that's something you want to do, going to the gym, spending time with family, whatever it is that you're looking to do. So again, it doesn't matter where you schedule this. It doesn't matter if you do it at 4 a.m. or if you do it at 8 a.m. These are the 3 activities that you need to do each and every single day to build a sustainable insurance practice. So with that all being said, now that you know exactly what you need to do on a monthly basis, if you want to break into the nitty-gritty of how to use YouTube from the full guide, breaking it down as a financial advisor, click here to watch that video. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.